Oh, guys, I'm really one of the people that really respects my viewers and people who comment on my channel. Now, there is a one Odeke Faustiano who really came out and said, when I did the match reaction to Arsenal 0, a team which goes by the names of a team which goes by the names of PSV 2, that game had no value to Arsenal. How many Arsenal fans outside there do you believe that this game had no value to your team? Because I believe your manager has shown to us that this game was so much valuable, and obviously they needed it to win it or really get a point out of it. And obviously, as Cameron said, he's so much disappointed in the players of Arsenal not winning it. As before I go into player ratings, allow me show you what your manager is really going to have to say about this loss of PSV in Netherlands. And I think Odeke Faustiano, you really go out and really say whether your manager is right or wrong on the words that really said after the game. First and foremost, he said, "Today I think it was very difficult right from the beginning. Even though we had periods where we controlled the game, I didn't feel that we had the threat and the aggression that we've been playing at." He continued to say that was worrying. In the second half, the moment something went wrong, we just went down and we didn't really find moments to give us some hope to react and get something out of the game. Now, this is the most important of all. He went and said, Mikel Arteta, that I'm very disappointed. It's the end of a long run where we won a lot of games, and today is our first defeat since the start of September, and we have to reset. Congratulations to PSV, they were the better team today. So, I really want to let you know that Mr. Odeke Faustiano, that the manager of Arsenal, is really speaking out his heart that he's really very disappointed. And if I told you here a manager saying that he's very disappointed, obviously you know that it was really a serious game and the game had really a lot of value, because Arsenal just need 1 point from this game and they reached an extent when they couldn't even gather that 1 point out of this game. Don't you think that they really felt painful? If you thought that it had no value, why was the lack of Martinelli losing their cool when the game was 2-0? The likes of Saliba And Xhaka, they lost their cool in this game of football. And obviously Mikel Arteta threw in the likes of Gabriel Jesus, the Bukayo Saka and Thomas Partey in that game of football. Why did he throw them on? Because he knew that he wanted to rescue that game. You get? He never wanted to lose that game. He just wanted a point to sit either top the group of the UEFA Europa League Group A. And obviously, if Arsenal can't really get a point from that game of FC Zurich next Thursday at home, and PSV really wins, then Arsenal is really going to be on a very bad note. By the way, Arsenal just needs to go ahead and win that game of football against FC Zurich. If they get a draw and PSV and Eindhoven wins, Arsenal is in second. And guess what? When you are second, you are going to play teams like Barcelona, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, and Ajax coming in from the group stages of the Champions League. So it shows you that it was really a very important win for United. Mr. Odeke Faustiano, this game had value. I don't know whether you agree with me. I know you're going to watch this video, and obviously we'll go in the comment section and tell me what you think about what the manager is going to have to say. And my facts have given you that this game was really of total value to decide which goes by names of Arsenal. Rokani David is my name. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Last video of the day, we are here to do this player rating section as Arsenal was beaten by PSV by 2-0. We are going to talk about, I think, close to 13-14 players that really got themselves involved in this encounter that took place in Netherlands. Obviously, Cody Gakpo destroying Arsenal, and obviously the player ratings are as follows. To me, I'm giving Aaron Ramsdale a 7 out of 10. He really did a lot of saves, and I think was the best Arsenal player on the field of play that really put in an effort that obviously saved Arsenal from conceding more. Can't blame him for any goal that really went in through. I think the Arsenal defense was really reluctant in both goals, and obviously they had to go in and really put in a lot of effort to go on and really create lots of chances and even defend very well. First half, the game ended 0-0, but obviously who was on their mercy? It was a man who goes by the names of Aaron Ramsdale, and obviously 2 goals conceded by Arsenal in the first half, but they were really offside, meaning that who knocked so much on the door to go on and really score? It was PSV. And guess who really stopped them to score very many goals? it was Aaron Ramsdale giving him a 7 out of 10. I go to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu for me is really a good player, but I think today wasn't one of those good games for him, and I'm giving him a 6 out of 7. Tomiyasu is given a 6 out of 7 by me. I don't know how much you are giving him on the rate of 10. I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. Kien Tierney. Oh, I'm giving him a 5. A 5 out of 10. I believe he is really one of those players that really needs to find his form in this time when Zinchenko is really away. And when Zinchenko is away, it was the right time for him to go in and really acclaim this position in the left back position of Arsenal. And when I plays, I'm really playing very well, because the manager has shown us that he does not trust him to play as a left back, because ever since that game in the Premier League against the team which goes by the names of Liverpool, when they brought in Tomiyasu to pocket Salah, Tomiyasu has gone ahead to play as a left back in all of those games. In the game of Leeds, he played as a left back. In the game of Southampton, he played as a left back. And you never know, in the game of a team which goes by the names of Nottingham, he might be brought back to play as a left back. So I believe that is really going to go on and really happen in that game of football. Rob Holding, a 5 out of 10. That's what I'm giving him, because I believe he was responsible for not really partnering well with Saliba, because when Saliba is partnering with Gabriel Magalhaes, obviously the defense of Arsenal is watertight. And I think after conceding 2 against Liverpool, 3 against Manchester United, I think those are the only 2 teams that have gone ahead to really exploit that defense of Arsenal and really put 2 goals past them. Oh, and even Leicester City had forgotten. So amongst the very many games Arsenal has played, because when you add the 5 games they've played in the UEFA Europa League plus the 11 games they played in the Premier League, those are 16 games, they've only managed to concede 2 goals against Manchester United, Liverpool, and Leicester City. Now the 4th one has come in through, that is PSV. So I believe they needed to go on and really put an watertight defense, meaning that guy really had a problem into the central defense. And obviously I'm giving him a 5. I'm giving him a 4 out of 10. That is Rob Holding. Saliba, 5 out of 10. Without Gabriel Magalhaes, he really looks vulnerable, and I believe Gabriel Magalhaes really complements him better than any of those players in the Arsenal shirt. I believe I want to see him more play with Ben White, because I believe in Ben White complementing him more into this game of football, because Ben White is fast, and I think he's agile, and obviously he can really gate him into the spaces that he really wants him to be, and obviously play a high line in this game of football. Sambi Lokonga, 6 out of 10. I believe he really played very well. Though I've seen Arsenal fans coming and slating him, I can't blame him because of these goals, because you see, when you're playing with Granit Xhaka and Odegaard, and you leave a lot of responsibility for this guy whom you know that is really young, and obviously you are playing one of the biggest games in the group stages, because you knew what happened at Emirates, you need to go on and really be supportive. It doesn't require you to go on and play up so much up ahead of the pitch and really leave this guy helpless. So I believe it was because of Granit Xhaka and Odegaard that Sambi Lokonga never had the game that he was supposed to have. But obviously, when a ball was needed for him to go on and really play very well, he played very well. Though for the first goal, I believe would have really played a very much pivotal role to play into that position. He was caught out of position, and obviously in the position he was supposed to be in is where Veneman, that first goal, the first PSV goal came in from, and obviously he was on to play. I'm giving him a 5 out of 10. Then Granit Xhaka, 5 out of 10 too, because today he was really silent. He lost even his cool in the game of football, and obviously he found himself in positions of really not where he's supposed to be. Then Odegaard, 5 out of 10 too. Not impressed with what he has had to go on and redo the needful in the game of football. He never orchestrated the game. He never dictated the game, because the main reason as why they started him was to go on and really do what we call a spark, provide a spark for the Arsenal attacks. But obviously he didn't do that, and obviously things never went the best way in there for you as far as this side is concerned. Then Fabio Vieira, 7 out of 10 for me. I like the way he played, especially off that left, off that right attacking side of the midfield. I believe he really has a lot in his game. His first touch is really great, press resistant, and obviously I think the best chance that Arsenal had in this game was created by him in the first half, meaning that he's really one of those players that we need to go on and really hail in this game of football. So I believe he played better, and I know he's really going to be improving game in, game out. Remember, he's played every UEFA Europa League game, almost playing 90 minutes in this group stage of Group A. Martinelli, very much disappointing to me. I think this is the worst game he has had this season. And I believe he really had a chance to put Arsenal ahead in the first half, and he went in for the volleying effort, and it went over the bar. But obviously, he has played very badly. If at all you know the level at which Martinelli really plays at, I can't even give him a 5. That's it. That's it. That's how bad Martinelli has played today. I believe I'm giving him a 5 out of 10. He has played very badly today. He lost his cool. He really looked like he was not to the game of football. Ever since Martinelli came in through and really got or went under the weather and really had that small sickness in the game of a team which goes by the names of PSV at Emirates, where he played like 10-15 minutes. He's not yet back to the Martinelli I know. And secondly, my problem with Martinelli is I want to see him encroach the half spaces, not each and every time running into the wide area with the ball, because that is really not threatening. The only way to threaten your opponent is to cut inside and obviously lay that ball in to look for your center forwards, or really cause havoc into the defender's box area by really looking in for a position to really find a perfect shot towards the goal of the opponent, or even sit them down and maybe earn free kicks or what we call corners and maybe a penalty. You get? So I believe that's what Martinelli should be aiming at, and I believe with how he's playing right now, his form is deteriorating and so much annoying. Then Edin Ketia, obviously there is a person you find hard to rate, because if they've not yet given him enough balls, then what are you going to rate him? Because the ball he was given by Fabio Vieira, he directed it to goal, and obviously the goalkeeper punched it out, and it resulted into a corner for Arsenal. So you find it hard to rate a player like him, but obviously I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10, because we are told that if I told you a striker, when you see these forwards and the midfielders are not creative enough, what do? Go get that ball for yourself and obviously do the magic. And I believe that Edin Ketia has all that in his legs. He has the energy, he can burst into space, he can shoot from behind, and obviously he can really take off players and sit them down, nutmeg them. I believe he would have gone ahead to risk that and do really get Arsenal off what we call the rope. But obviously he couldn't, and I'm giving him a 5 out of 10. Thomas Partey came on through. Not so much to do, because Sangare had really went ahead to really gate that midfield in his total control, and I'm giving him a 5 out of 10. Bukayo Saka, 5 out of 10. Gabriel Jesus, 5 out of 10. So to me, I believe Arsenal was not, most of the players of Arsenal never even reached what we call average, because average is 6. You get? Most players of Arsenal have been having 5. So the best player for me in the field of play was a man who goes by the names of Ramsdale, and I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. Ramsdale and Fabio Vieira really looked great in this game of football, but obviously they couldn't really lift their team up to go on and really find them a win. But the rest of the team, they really looked under average. That's why I've given them, most of them 5, because that's what they really worked on, and that's what they really looked at most. So those were my player ratings. The manager, Mikel Arteta, I believe that he had to make substitutes early enough, especially at the beginning of the second half. I've seen Ten Hag today winning by one goal to nil. He took off Lisandro Martinez and Anthony, brought on Harry Maguire, and Marcus Rashford, and obviously Rashford scored and won the game by 3 goals, meaning that if at all he really thought that these substitutes were needed to go on and really do the needful, have made them early enough. And I think it's now that he's regretting that really made late substitutions. So I'm giving him a 5 out of 10. He was also below average in his management today, but obviously he's a very good manager, and I believe he can turn it around against Nottingham Forest at Emirates, because Arsenal have not lost a single game at the Emirates, and they've won almost every game they've played there. So that is a manager who goes by names of Mikel Arteta, and let me go through the player ratings. Ramsdale. As I go through them, you let me know what you are giving the player on the scale of 10. Ramsdale, 7 out of 10. Tomiyasu, 6 out of 10. Kieran Tierney, 5 out of 10. Rob Holding, 4 out of 10. Saliba, 5 out of 10. Sam Bilokonga, 5 out of 10. Xhaka, 5 out of 10. Odegaard, 5 out of 10. Bukayo Saka, 5 out of 10. Then, which other player? Fabio Vieira, 7 out of 10. 5 out of 10 for Edin Ketia. 4 out of 10 for Martinelli. 5 out of 10 for Thomas Partey. 5 out of 10 for Gabriel Jesus. And obviously, who else came on through? I don't remember. Those are my player ratings. And go into the comment section. Tell me what you think about the player ratings, and obviously how much you can give every player of Arsenal that really played onto that field of play today. Thank you for watching in. Rokani David is my name. Last video of the day. We sign out for now. See you later, and I hand you over to the Almighty Lord to really lead you and protect you through the night. I'm out.